Hey, Miami sports fans. Stop by Caneswear today at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, Florida. And check out their awesome merchandise selection of your favorite South Florida sports teams. From the Miami Dolphins, Hurricanes, Heat, Marlins, Florida Panthers, and Inter Miami, they've got it all. Celebrate your favorite team and show off your fandom with their beautiful team starter jackets, killer-looking helmets, team jerseys, cool shirts, and more. And if you're out of town or out of state, no worries. Go to caneswear.com and find everything they have on their site. Select what you want, and they will ship your gear to you. Anything over $99 is shipped for free. Don't wait. Stop at Caneswear today.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of On the Clock on the Fitstock Sports Network NFL Draft Coverage Show. I'm your host, Bobby Fitstock, joined by Coach Vogel. How you doing, sir?
I'm great, man. I always look forward to this time of the week. Talk some Dolphins talk some draft.
Hell yeah, brother. I hear you. Welcome, everybody, to the channel, Fitstock Sports Network. If you're tuning in from X, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, wherever you're watching, we appreciate you tuning in. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of news. There was a lot of some sort of like depression. Christian Wilkins is gone, Robert Hunt gone, Xavier Howard gone, Van Ginkel gone, Brandon Jones gone, and you're going, holy crap, soft reset. Oh, the media writers are all saying it's over. Miami's going to be a down year next year, blah, blah, blah. And my goodness, at least for me, I have to say, and I'm not a Greer lover here. I'm not somebody who puts them up on a pedestal, but you got to give the guy credit. So far, the way it looked going in, I did not expect this solid of an offseason so far for Miami. Jordan Poyer, Shaq Barrett, Jordan Brooks, Aaron Brewer, Jonnu Smith, Anthony Walker Jr., defensive lineman Neville Gallimore, Saran Neal, defensive back, special teams ace. Kendall Fuller today, 2 years, 16 point whatever million. Yeah. And then tight end wide receiver Jody Fortson from Kansas City. Coach, first off, what was your initial reaction watching this go down when we cut Howard, cut Baker, cut Agba, Christian Wilkins is gone, Robert Hunt signed somewhere else, Van Ginkel's gone. How are you feeling at that point before this second wave right now?
Well, to start out with, you look at those guys that got big contracts, right? There's just no way that Miami could have done that. Congratulations to Christian Wilkins for getting paid.
100%.
There was a couple guys that got bank, and there was just no way that we could compete with that. So obviously, as you're seeing all the cuts come down and people leaving and you check Twitter and everybody's like, all Dolphins fans like, I can't handle it. This is awful. I think they did a decent job replacing players that we lost. Now, are they the same quality? No. But we do have a new defensive coordinator who wants guys in his and be able to fit his position and his skill. I think the only way that you make up for, Christian Wilkins getting the big contract, I don't know. There's some, why can I not? Aaron Donald, you see that thing with Mike McDaniel and him?
Yeah.
Is there something to it? Could something be coming down the pipe later on? He's just like, bide your time, that type of thing. But people, I've seen on Twitter, and some of our network buddies have even said, they're not worried about the defense, they're worried about the offense. Well, we didn't lose anybody on offense, so I still think that's gonna be okay. I hope we lose. And the biggest person for me was Jonnu Smith. That and not that he's, Rob Gronkowski or Travis Kelce, but he is that pass catching threat at tight end that we haven't had. So I do have some optimism there. I'm excited to see how Mike McDaniel can use him in the game, and hopefully just something over the middle, nice and easy as everything else clears out. So not as, sitting here today, I'm not as downtrodden as I was when Monday rolled around and we're losing everybody. But, I think we got some quality guys. And I like raiding the Bills, for some of their people.
Absolutely. Well, again, I don't have it on this page. Let me make sure if I don't, which was the team needs. I had it on the other one, but that's okay. So, but basically, team needs for Miami going in to this offseason, and it got deeper when the cuts and the releases happened. Offensive guard, center, defensive tackle, defensive line, linebacker, tight end, receiver, safety, corner. Am I missing anybody? I don't know. But right there, those were your core needs, I'm thinking, right? I don't know if I'm missing. You go ahead, you get Jordan Poyer. There's your safety. Corner, Kendall Fuller. There you go. Mm-hmm. Special teams ace, Saron Neals goes with defensive back.
I honestly feel the reason they got him is for special teams, because I listened to Kyle Krabs, and he was saying that part of the issue with special teams this year was that we had guys that were designated special teams player, and then we had guys get hurt, and they had to designate them all special teams to start, an offense or defense, and then they're at that point they're no more, special team studs. They got to contribute elsewhere, which isn't easy.
No, it's not. But again, you got Deshaun Hand, Benito Jones, Neville Gallimore, defensive line. Okay, Anthony Walker Jr., Jordan Brooks. Those are your linebackers. Tight end. Again, they got Jody Fortson. He played tight end, wide receiver. Played wide receiver in college at Valdosta State.
Yep.
Played a couple seasons with Kansas City. Got hurt, but still, of course, you added Jonnu Smith there. And it's Shaq Barrett, another linebacker edge rusher. The only thing I don't see here yet is offensive guard. You got center, but of course Aaron Brewer could play guard or center. And Miami has been slowly but surely, conservatively signing players. What did I say going in? My goal for Miami would be, don't go crazy with splash moves. There's only one guy. He went with Baltimore. Right. But don't go crazy with splash moves. Build out your roster, low-tier signings, mid-tier signings. That way you go into the NFL draft with as little needs as possible to have complete flexibility. That way at 21, a player falls, a player that you probably would never really get because you'd have too many needs. Now you're free to go get that guy.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree completely. With that. And
I will say, let me just read some of these comments here. And I want to thank Scotty, Cliff, Daniel's in the house. Cliff says, fire Greer or stink forever. That's our choice. Scotty, to me, very solid signings. The only questionable ones are Bailey and Savon Ahmed, but that's negligible. Yeah, to me, I don't know, but Bailey was questionable, but I believe with Savon Ahmed and some of the let me see here, make sure I read the names who were re-signed by Miami. So Jake Bailey, Nick Needham, Robert Jones, Elijah Campbell, Savon Ahmed, Benito, and Deshaun Hand. To me, that's just making sure you go again. You're filling out your roster enough that way you have, because who knows if they survive the cuts in the preseason. But this is just building out your roster. And Ahmed is like Myles Gaskin, just keep surviving. But for now, hey Bobby, Coach Vogel. I think Greer after Purge on Monday has done an incredible job filling out the roster. Again, you got to I'm not a Greer, what do you call this? But you got to give him credit. He's had a very solid start considering how he was going into this free agency. Yeah. I mean, and dude, a player like Jordan Poyer for 1 year, $2 million.
Yeah.
And the window's closing. We know next year we got cap, we got the draft picks, but we're talking about we're talking about after next season. The next season, though, the Dolphins are still trying to make a run. And you know what? For a team that lost Christian Wilkins, a team that lost Robert Hunt, you would say, like a lot of these riders were doing, oh, Miami's going for a down year. Get rid of 2024. It's it. Right. Then you look at what they've been able to bring in, and you go, no, actually, I think our linebacker units has been improved.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, so let me ask you this. Okay, so let's go over the names again. Jordan Poyer, Shaq Barrett, linebacker, safety, linebacker Jordan Brooks, center Aaron Brewer from Titans, Janu Smith, the tight end, Anthony Walker Jr., linebacker from Cleveland, Neville Gallimore, defensive lineman, defensive back Saron Neal, that's your ace, right. Kendall Fuller, corner, signed today, tight end wide receiver Jody Fortson, punter Jake Bailey, corner Nick Needham, Robert Jones, Elijah Campbell, Savon Ahmed, Benito Jones, Deshaun Hand. You know, again, the only one that's missing here, at least any position, is that offensive lineman.
Right.
But even though they resigned, their defensive line looks like it's a little depth now.
Yeah.
The more I look at this, there's 3 positions that scream at me at 21 right now. Guard.
Right.
Defensive line still.
Yep.
And wide receiver.
Yes. Yep.
That's what's screaming me. You do? All right. I was just going to check.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Looking at what Miami's doing right now. Okay, so you say you agree. Is there any other position that I'm missing that you think, hey, man, they could target this?
No, not really. Like you look at the needs, and I feel like, oh, okay, Evan. No, I do feel like interior offensive line is a question mark. I do think they need. Did they get enough out of, the wide receiver 3, the wide receiver 4, the wide receiver 5 this year, or are they going to completely redo that? Are you going to bring on Craycraft again? Are you going to bring Barrios back? That's still in the mix. We don't know how that plays out. Or do we have some of these stud wide receivers fall to us in the draft that are takeable at that position? So,
and there's some quality wide receivers that, we talk about Brian Thomas out of LSU. You got the kid out of Washington. You got his partner, but Malik Neighbors is probably going to go right with Marvin Harrison. But even after that, there's a lot of quality wide receivers that if Miami went into the draft with all these needs, Miami's probably going to go, round 7, let's grab a guy, just put him in the backs, throw him somewhere.
Yeah.
But now Miami can say, hey, holy crap. I'm forgetting his name, Rome Adunze.
Adunze, yep.
Adunze. Yep. He's sitting there at 21, or Brian Thomas out of LSU, which Tyreek Hill said he would like him on his team, or even a Michael Thomas free agent out of New Orleans. So Tyreek is pounding the table for a bigger receiver to be added in with him and Jalen Waddle. Now Miami could easily say, okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and get that wide receiver. And now look at that receiver room.
Right.
You already added your tight end.
Because hear me out, people. Hear me out. Because I like the big body Chase Claypool type receiver. I'm not saying that Chase Claypool is the answer, but just a bigger body that is a red zone threat. So, if we ended up getting a tight end, the kid from, was it Minnesota, that's like 6'6",
Spanford, yeah.
Yeah. Or, one of these other wide receivers that has a little bit of height to him, just giving something other than just, if we're going to throw the goal line fade, let's throw it to somebody other than the shortest guy on the wide receiver room.
What's up, Finn's Take, man? Great to see you, brother. CB83 on in the house. Great content, guys. Go check him out if you haven't yet. And that's who said that? I wouldn't be surprised if we go edge rusher in first and defensive end and doesn't touch Chubb's. Yeah, that's a great point. Edge rusher becomes another one. That's another position. Daniel, wide receiver, offensive guard, nose tackle.
Yep.
And think about that. The draft is deep at nose tackle, or defensive line, deep at wide receiver, deep at guard.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Edge rusher. I mean, Miami is kind of setting themselves up at least for this coming season, to have what's happening in New England. You see what's happening in Buffalo and so forth.
Right.
Yeah. You know,
which one are you more interested in at 21? If out of those three positions, like which one is you still think is, because you banging the table for that D line.
So Scotty says we have more defensive tackles on the roster right now than we have in the 3 years. I'm not sure. I'm going to trust Scotty on that. But what I would say is, how many of those guys are truly good starting defensive linemen? Those guys are, you know, your depth pieces. Those guys, will they survive a 53-man roster?
Right.
To me, and again, the draft is so deep. But again, it's tough for me either at 21 or 55, wherever we get Braden Fisk, Tavondre Sweat, nose tackle for Daniel.
I do feel like
but offensive line right now has to be a more dire need, right?
I completely agree, because you don't have any guards right now. I am a Notre Dame guy through and through. You know that. I grew up 5 minutes from South Bend. I don't like Eichenberg. I don't see what they see, and I would like a little, like, for us to roll out week 1 with him as a starting guard, I think would be a little bit of a travesty. But I do feel like, you know, like that first pick.
Good to know.
Yeah, I heard that too. So it's definitely like Gallimore is obviously the one that like was probably the least of my woohoo guys. But also, like, I think, you know, they have a type. They have a new defensive coordinator, and I think he's pounding the table and saying, look, I think we can get this guy. I know he hasn't been super successful. You know, and that's what you want. You want to take a shot on a guy sometimes that hasn't been good for other teams and bring him in, and you never know. You know, how many times has a guy not made it in one place and then comes to a different place and then ends up, you know.
And CB83 FinState here, great point. Good and big proponent of getting a guy who plays on every down. Yeah. You know, and it's true with the edge rushers. And again, you know, O-line is pretty deep though, but I get it. Again, Graham Barton, I've talked about him. And again, even though they got Aaron Brewer, do not sleep on Jackson Powers, even though maybe Miami said, hey, it's more than likely we're not getting him. You know, we got to move up. But you got Zach Frazier. You got other guys like that. See, I would be shocked.
You know what I didn't understand with Zach Frazier? He broke his leg in the middle of a game against Baylor and played like continued playing the game. Like they showed a picture of him like hobbling off on three, you know, his arms and leg because he busted his
Ruffy boy. Let's see. Oh, well, you know, sorry. I know I gotta send the phone number. That's the thing about Zach Frazier. That dude is a monster. Yeah. I mean, they could break your leg and keep playing. And like you said it last week or 2 weeks ago, a wrestler, you know, I mean, people are all, and they should be hyped on Jackson Powers, but Zach Frazier is not someone to sleep on.
Yeah. And that, like, when I think of some of these guys, like you think about like guys that end up being like Hall of Fame type guys. Like, look at Kelsey. Kelsey wasn't drafted until what, the 5th or 6th round?
Yeah.
Or Stink, when he played for the Redskins and the Broncos. You know who I'm talking about? I can't. His last name slipped my mind. Stink is what I always called him. But he grew up in Alaska, went to Idaho, and NFL Hall of Famer Schlereth. Mark Schlereth is who I'm thinking.
Oh, Broncos, yes.
Yeah. You know, didn't go to a big school, but ended up coming in, drafted in the later rounds, and, you know, going to end up being a Hall of Famer. I'm sure he already is, but if not, he needs to be.
He definitely needs to be. Let's look through the names very quick, talking about the draft, who the Dolphins, you know, at least what's been reported, because you never know, some things have, some things haven't, who the Dolphins have met with or are going to meet with.
Right.
So we touched on this. Frank Gore, running back out of Southern Miss. They met at the Combine. Jaden Hicks, defensive back out of Washington State. combine. The following guys, I'm going to say combine, now I'll switch it up.
Yeah.
Cameron Kitchens out of Miami, safety.
Yep.
Latu, defensive edge rusher out of UCLA. Patrick Paul, offensive tackle out of Houston. Anaya Smith, wide receiver, Texas A&M. Austin Booker, edge rusher out of Kansas. Braylon Trice, edge rusher out of Washington. Jatavion Sanders, tight end out of Texas. Christian Hines, guard, Connecticut. Trevon Wallace, linebacker, Kentucky. And of course, Jackson Powers Johnson, center out of Oregon. And his quarterback, Bo Nix, out of Oregon. The next guys, they met this guy at the Hula Bowl, which is Rashad Williams, corner out of Texas Tech. Garrett Greenfield, they met at the Shrine Bowl, offensive lineman out of South Dakota. Gabe Wallace, offensive lineman out of Buffalo, met at the Tropical Bowl and the Gridiron Showcase. And they scheduled a top 30 visit with tight end Eric All out of Iowa.
Yep.
So those are the guys so far that the Dolphins have met or scheduled to meet. Again, crazy week.
Yeah.
Okay, don't play games with me. Don't play games.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a dude. I'm gonna be honest. I was, did a volunteer event earlier today. I was out of work yesterday. I got my allergies are kicking my butt. Went to a volunteer event at work early this morning with my son. I was so proud of him. He was amazing. Just to watch your son do stuff like that and to be so it's just amazing. But went to work afterwards, did that, got home late, laid down with my youngest, was watching TV, watching Mickey Mouse. And of course, my clock, we never changed the clock on the wall, but my phone is still obviously. So I'm like talking, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I got time. And I looked at my phone and went, oh, so oh no. So, just tell me to shut. Yeah, you already know. Imagine adding a Kelsey or Kittle type to our absolutely. Yeah. And again, see, they signed Jonnu Smith. Here's my thing. When you go and you go Jordan Poyer, Shaq Barrett, Jordan Brooks, these type of players, Aaron Brewer, Jonnu Smith, Kendall Fuller. But you sign these type of players and you go, okay, we're good. We don't need to draft those guys anymore. We don't have to draft that position.
Wrong.
But that doesn't mean you're not going to draft that position.
Right.
Miami could go, like, if you got a Jonnu Smith, as Fitztake is saying, you go with Jonnu Smith and Jody Fortson and Dan Smythe, whoever's on the roster. If somehow, some way, a Brock Bowers is sitting there.
21. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Are you kidding me? Think about that for and then you get, you kind of freed yourself up. First off, Ben Sennett, I would be down with that 100%. Yeah. If we get him in the 5th round or whatever round you get him later in the draft, 100%. So for me, right now, I know last night was it last night? I'm sorry, Tuesday night on Real Talk Fins Talk. Guys had a great show. Steve Malloy, Dolphins Thirsty, Rob, Evan Posner, Fitz Stanza was in the house, and they had some people on as well, and they were giving grades and everything. And I think it is a little early to give grades. Let the process play out. Just like when the first half of it happened, everybody was, burning the effigies and it's all over. He's like, let it play out. Now there's some good signings. It's Super Bowl. Calm down. So, but I think Evan gave a B+. I think same thing with Rob. I'm not.
Evan gave a B+. That's surprising for Evan.
You know how Evan is. At the end of the season, it's all negative, and now he's kind of recycled, and now he's Mr. Positive again. Right. For me, I'm going to be honest, and I'm not. I hope I'm not looked at as a hater because I love it, but I think it's been a C+. There's still some work to be done, but again, how Miami has gone into this, and to come out so far with a solid kind of turnout, signing some quality players to your roster.
Yeah.
I got to give them a solid C+. I don't think that's bad.
Did they restructure Armstead, or am I just dreaming that? I thought I saw something about it.
Yes, I thought, he came back and they restructured his contract. I think the only one they haven't touched is Tyreek Hill and Bradley Chubb. I know they converted Jalen Ramsey's salary. He didn't restructure. They converted it. Right. So they dropped down the pay hit. I think raised the bonus or whatever the hell it's like.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. Okay. Let me see. We got a B+ here. Right now I'm a B+ so far in free agency. I didn't think Greer would be That's fair. You know what I mean? I can understand kind of raising your grade because they're like, dude, what can they do? We're effed, you know.
Yeah.
We're losing these guys. You know, who are we going to be able to sign? Blah, blah, blah. And to come out, and that, it's a grip for the front office, and to come out with this plan, as Alex has said on these text reports, and to execute it the way you have, I can understand going high on the grade. Let me see here. Greer addressed way more than I thought he would be able to in the first wave. That's why I feel like it's B. That's fair. They can't do Chubb if they want to option him. That's true. And they may want to. That contract's pretty big. That's why this window's kind of closing, because a lot of these big high number guys won't be here next year. So that's why edge rusher could be an option at 21. Let's go around the league very quick. And let's touch on this a little bit. I know Evan brought up the Jaguars overpaying. Which moves?
I feel like there are a lot of guys that got paid that, like, you're like, really? That you paid that much? Like Ridley? I think Ridley got
Calvin Ridley
bank.
out of Tennessee. Yep.
Ridley got bank.
Let me see if I can pull this up very quick. Go ahead.
And Wilkins got paid. He got, I don't remember the exact.
Wow, yeah, 27.5. I mean, I love Christian Wilkins, and I'm happy he got the money he wanted. I know we talked on this a long time, Evan and myself, on multiple shows, on our shows, and you know, I was comfortable with 18 to 20.
Right.
You know, I wasn't comfortable with 22, 25, 22 being the max. I mean, but to get 27.5, good for you. God bless you. But you know what? Not for us. Not for me. You know, I'm just happy he's getting paid what he's wanting to in Las Vegas. Good luck only not when you're facing Miami. But that to me is a little stretch.
I guess the one, and Dave's going to laugh when I say this, but the one like surprising piece is that Justin Field hasn't been traded, and it doesn't seem like there's a market for him. You know,
we're going to touch on this.
And so like, what does Chicago do? Are they going to have to keep him? Because I don't see him, like right now, I don't see him starting anywhere next year.
Well, that's my thing. So, but I'm going to go through some of these free agent signings for around the league. We're going to touch on how it impacts the draft, but touch on a move that has not happened that's going to impact the draft. Justin Fields. You know, the Bears are struggling to find a trade partner, at least at the value they want. They think that he's worth. That was my question for you. Do you think that they will end up actually moving him, or do you think they say, hey, you know what? Let's keep him, and then we'll draft our guy, whether that be Williams or Jaden Daniels? For me, I've said this from the beginning. You know, I think, you know, it's hard to pass up on a guy that you think is generational.
Right.
But if you're not going to be able to move Fields, you need to start really talking about moving that pick.
Yeah.
At least that's what I think. If you're not, and you can still draft the guy, but if you can't have Caleb Williams and Justin Fields there, because the DJ Moore has already vocally said he wants Justin Fields. The fan base is behind Justin Fields. If you keep Justin Fields and draft Caleb Williams for say, you're creating yourself an issue going into next season when Caleb Williams or whomever's back there has their rookie jitters. You know, so to me, if you're not going to move Justin Fields or you can't move him, trade that pick, get as much as you can, and then go draft a Penix or a May or whomever may be, or a JJ McCarthy later in the draft. What do you think?
I agree. I like the idea of quarterback competition, you know,
for sure. 100%.
Draft him, let him fight it out. Whoever wins. But at the same, I agree with Evan. They overplayed their hand. They thought they were going to get a big market, and they don't have much of a market at all. And I think that, like, what you're saying is, if you have Fields and Williams both, like, it's going to set up Williams bad, because the first time he has a bad game, whatever, and everybody's clamoring for Fields, or vice versa, like, you know, I do feel like Fields needs a restart. He needs to be somewhere new. Could it be Denver? Denver doesn't seem to have a quarterback right now. I know there's a couple other teams, but it was definitely weird to see guys end up in different places. With what's his name from New Orleans that's backing up in Cleveland now. Like that didn't make sense. I didn't understand that at all. Like,
well, and you see it again going back to Miami, even though we're talking about this, because I Scotty said we need someone better than Mike White. Again, Miami kind of addressing free agency the way they are doing sets themselves up to use one of those picks, whether it's this first, second, not first, but second, third, fourth, whatever, if they get able to trade back, get a couple picks, they could go and get a quarterback to back up Tua because and better than Mike White, and to be able to and not impact their team because they balanced it out. I don't know if Scotty was trying to say about Justin Fields to Miami. I don't think that happened, but there's reports that he may just have to be a backup somewhere. Yeah. Which is but the problem is I don't think he could be a backup in Chicago. He's going to have to be moved. I can't see it. Denver isn't a spiral. Jameis Winston is it Jameis Winston who just signed?
Yeah. With Cleveland, I think.
Desmond Ridder just went to Arizona.
Yeah.
So, and now they got Kyler Murray and Desmond Ridder, a capable. I mean, my goodness, you think about they go and they make a trade for another quarterback, and you're like, wait, we have our guy, but they made that move, and now look, if Kyler Murray goes down, or he struggles, they got Desmond Ridder come in and step in. And you got a capable backup. Smart. Exactly. Joe Milton is a guy in the 5th, 6th, 7th, whatever. I'm down with 100%. Love Joe Milton. Love his ceiling, his potential.
I just don't love Mike White. Like
100%.
I even like Skyler. I thought Skyler played a hell of a game in the playoff game against Buffalo 2 years ago. Like, make him the backup and then sign somebody else to be your emergency quarterback on game day to start out with, and then go from there. I don't think I think doing a better job of the backup role. I don't know. I don't like bringing guys and putting them on the Dolphins from the Jets because
I hear you. No, I know. Trust me. Rattler. I'm gonna be honest. When I watched his stuff, it didn't catch my eye. I wasn't really sold on it. I don't see what others are seeing. So you got to forgive me. Full disclosure, Scotty. I'm gonna go back and watch it again and spend more time, actually zoned in, and then give you a better answer and give you my forte. But I'll let Coach. I don't know if you have an opinion on Rattler as a 5th or 6th round prospect.
I think I was probably a little higher on him, or maybe I do see some talent there, but again, like if you take him in the 5th or 6th round, like that,
that's a safe bet. That's a safe pick at that point. It's not like you're overdrafting at that point, so I'm okay with it. But
draft him in the 3rd round.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say something I don't mean, or I don't want to make up something that is not true, because I just want to be honest. From what I saw, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, because I know a lot of people love him. A lot of people are hyped on him, and I get it. I mean, that's fair, but I haven't yet. So give me a little more time. Once I watch him more, we'll come back to Spencer Rattler, and I'll give you a better take on it. So which moves of free agency have made the most impact on the draft? So let me just go through, at least quickly, look at some of these guys, and we'll touch on them. Like Arizona. Okay, they got Sean Murphy-Bunting, 3 years, $25.5 million corner. Desmond Ridder, which was a surprising move, but I liked it. Ballsy, something that most teams should do. The Falcons, I think they've set themselves up pretty good. Got Kirk Cousins. They got Rendo Moore. We know they're not trading for Justin Fields. We know they're not going to target a quarterback. I doubt it. Baltimore Ravens. Jeez, Alou. They re-signed Justin Madabuki, defensive lineman. I'm butchering that. Signed Derrick Henry. Bless my heart. Brent Urban re-signed. Josh was talking about how he was surprised that he thought he would probably be a Miami target. Nelson Aguilar re-signed. Baltimore, surprisingly, not very, active, but not too active, but still impactful free
Very
agency.
impactful. Yeah.
Buffalo, we touched on this. I mean, who did they lost a lot of guys. Jordan Poyer's gone. He went to Miami.
And who did they sign? Like, I don't feel like they had some guys that you're like, oh shit.
They signed Mitch Trubisky to be their backup. DaQuan Jones, defensive lineman. AJ Espinoza, edge rusher. Nicholas Merrow, linebacker. Deion Dawkins, extension, offensive lineman. David Edwards, an extension. Cam Lewis, extension, that's a corner. Safety Tyler Rapp, extended. And then Mac Hollins, former Dolphin, signed with Buffalo. So, but that's my thing with Buffalo, man. It kind of feels, that's why, like, if Buffalo would have kept their roster and added a couple pieces, then in Miami, they'd be like, okay, I can still see Buffalo having an edge. But because of their offseason so far, that's why I'm feeling pretty good about Miami's free agency and how they're looking for next season so far.
Didn't they lose one of their wide receivers? Was it
Gabe Davis?
Was it Davis?
I'm not sure. I'm thinking it's Davis. I may be wrong.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's who I thought it was. Gabe Davis.
Sam Howell, right? Where did Sam Howell go?
Oh,
Sam
he
Howell
got traded to.
That's right. Curtis Samuel just went to Buffalo. He just signed with Buffalo right before the show.
Curtis Samuel. Okay.
They lost Gabe Davis. Thank you, Scotty. Davis. Sam Howell. Where did Sam Howell? Seattle. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
You have Geno Smith, who just extended, and then you go get a Sam Howell who had a 4,000-yard season.
Absolutely.
I mean, again, this is not about hating on Tua, but I hope Mommy's watching. I hope Mommy's taking notes because you should be doing something like that.
Exactly.
Carolina. I've been very intrigued about Carolina.
I have too.
I mean, they spent a lot of money on offensive line just on 2 players.
Yeah.
Robert Hunt, Rob got his payday. Good for him. 5 years, $100 million. Damian Lewis, 4 years, $53 million. They signed Deshaun Robinson, Josie Joel. They traded for wide receiver Deontay Johnson. So, so we know, hey, could they still go for a tackle? Maybe.
Right.
But maybe it frees them up at wide receiver. Chicago. They signed Kevin Baird, safety. Jalen Johnson, DeAndre Swift, Ryan Bates. They traded for they sent a 5th-round pick to wherever they traded to get Bates. The Bears have been active. It's just what the hell are you going to do with your quarterback?
Right. Exactly.
Cincinnati. T. Higgins, 1 year, $21.8 million. I think that was the tag, right?
Right, yeah.
But they're talking about trading him. Where do you think T. Higgins is going to go? Do you have a thought in your head? I have a team, but I want to hear yours first.
I don't know. Like I feel like the Raiders need wide receivers. I feel like was it the Titans that I was
Calvin Ridley?
Oh, Ridley went to the Titans?
He did.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the Texans. I'm thinking the Texans, not the Titans.
Yeah.
So there's the Colts. The Colts don't have many wide receivers either. They may be in the wide receiver market here.
The Colts, that makes sense.
Scotty says Arizona.
Yeah. I think Kansas City. That's my guess.
They just signed Mike Williams today.
Did they? I didn't see that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Have Ponzi check on it. I think I saw that today that they signed Mike Williams.
Ooh, no, I'll look that up. Let me see if I can look that up. I did not see that. That was pretty fast if they did.
Yeah. Because if they didn't get Williams, I could definitely see that T. Higgins.
Oh, I didn't see it. I know Mike Williams is still free agent. I don't see any breaking news with him.
Oh, okay. Somebody must have.
Damn, you almost got me. Yeah,
that would have been big time.
So, Cleveland signs Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
As you said, Jordan Hicks and linebacker and Zadarius Smith, edge rusher. Jerry Jeudy made a trade with Denver. I like that movie. Jerry Jeudy. I like that move. Pair him up with Amari Cooper. I mean, they've given up less for some quality receivers in Cleveland. I really like the way they're managing their team there. Cowboys have been very quiet.
Very quiet.
Long snapper Trent C. and linebacker Eric Kendricks. Of course, our very own Josh Wingate usually is here, but he has laryngitis, so he can't talk for a week. Denver, Brandon Jones. They got Brandon Jones.
Yeah, I saw Jones in his new threads. Posted that.
No quarterback, so that's on the table. Let's kind of go through here.
I mean, don't you feel? Well, I don't know though. I mean, he may not be what's his name's type of quarterback, and then Fields go there. You know, like I just don't feel like Fields is the coach's type of, like, he just doesn't feel. I feel like Fields is somewhat like Russell Wilson. You know, and he caught Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson goes to Pittsburgh for like 5 pennies or something.
Something's going to go down where we're going to go, wait, you gave up.
Yeah.
You let him go for what? You know,
Yeah.
That's a trade that could be, I think, could split your team. Because if you trade Justin Fields, and let's say you get Caleb Williams, who people are questioning his, mental, his drama, whatever.
Yeah.
And he's just a divider and not a uniter and not a leader.
Right.
It's gonna cost you your job. They're like in prime position, but they're also in the worst place you can be right now. Green Bay Packers signed Josh Jacobs, running back, released AJ Dillon, but there's talk that AJ Dillon may return.
Ooh, imagine that guy.
Forgive me, guys. My allergies are kicking my butt. Houston, Joe Mixon, Dalton Schultz, tight end, running back, Jeff Okudah, corner, Donnell Hunter, edge rusher. I mean, my goodness. Aziz Al-Shahir, linebacker. I mean, my goodness. Houston is, I mean, they are not sitting back. They are not running it back. They are adding pieces and running forward.
Where did Eric Armstead go? Didn't he just sign for a ton of money too? Was that Jacksonville?
Who?
Eric Armstead from San Francisco, D tackle.
He did just sign. I don't know where I don't remember where he signed, but he did just sign with someone. Jacksonville, I think it was. I think it was Jacksonville.
That's what I thought too. And then the other one, Ayuk, or not Ayuk. One of the, was it Ayuk?
Yeah.
People were talking
Jacksonville.
about.
Talk about Jacksonville. Gabe Davis, Ezra Cleveland, offensive guard, Mitch Murse, center. They traded for Mac Jones. There's another one.
Yeah.
All jokes aside about Mac Jones, but you got Trevor Lawrence, and now you traded for a Mac Jones to be your backup. Yeah. You know, I mean, look, you see where the NFL is going.
Yeah.
Devin Darbinay, wide receiver, Ronald Darby, they re-signed, and then Eric Armstead. Kansas City brought back Chris Jones, 5 years, $160 million.
Paid.
They're trying to trade Snead. I know Miami was rumored for that, but now that Miami got Kendall Fuller, obviously that's closed. At least I think. The Raiders, some people, and I think it was mentioned in the comments, were rumored to be in on Justin Fields, but they went and signed Gardner Minshew. Yeah. So I think, I obviously I don't think that kills the noise on a quarterback. They can still go and draft a quarterback, but I think it kind of gives them a little more flexibility in the trade demands or even in the draft room.
Right.
Let me see here.
I feel like the Commanders have been sneaky, kind of low key, decent, getting some decent draft
for sure. The Vikings, Andrew Van Ginkel.
Oh yeah.
2 years, $20 million. Go to miss of Sam Darnold. They lost, of course, Kirk Cousins. They signed Sam Darnold, who, some people believe he's just not been in the right place at the right time. Hopefully find someone who could get the most out of him. Patriots have been busy. Hunter Henry resigned. Jacoby Brissett, 1 year, $8 million. Goes back to New England. Antonio Gibson.
He'll be the starter, right?
Has to be. Unless they draft someone.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because they got the 3rd overall pick.
They do.
So do they? Josh Daniels, and then does Josh Daniels start right away, or do you?
Jaden Daniels. Well,
that's what I meant. Jaden Daniels.
Well, it's a new guy. I mean, I believe that if it was Bill Belichick, it would probably be Jacoby Brissett.
That's true.
Because of the new coach, and I'm losing his name right now. I can't believe that. Jared Mayo. I could see where they start the rookie. But they've Kendrick Byrne, Antonio Gibson. Let me see, Austin Hooper. They brought back. I believe he was already on there. Let's see. Giants traded for Brian Burns, edge rusher.
Yeah.
5 years, $150 million they signed him to. Signed Drew Lock, Devin Singletary.
They may be looking for a quarterback. I hear they're done with Jones, even though they
could.
overpaid him.
You're not well, and again, I know a lot of people. I saw a comment on my last show, East Dead Street Boys, after the show was done, where somebody said, "Oh, we're giving Tua $50 million, or we're going to give Tua $50 million, but we didn't want to pay Christian Wilkins $27.5." So, again, first of all, the numbers for Tua and the position he plays demands more value.
Right.
Okay. That's why someone like Daniel Jones got 40-something million a year. And you go, wait, Daniel Jones got 40 what a year? That's what quarterbacks make nowadays. It's just the way the market is set. When you're a starter and you've played the way you played, and even if there's mild success, I'm not saying that's Tua, but you get that success, you're going to get paid in that upper echelon. The market sets itself.
Right.
You know, the Jets, Javon Kinlaw, defensive lineman, Tyrod Taylor, very quiet, not too much. They did trade for Morgan Moses for Baltimore.
That was originally with New York. He was
being returned. Saquon Barkley goes to the Eagles. Bryce Huff, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Landon Dickerson goes to he extended with the Eagles.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. Russell Wilson, 1 year, $1 million. Was that the deal?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, because he's getting paid bank by Denver. So Denver, I just don't understand.
Okay. Patrick Queen, Russell Wilson, Dante Jackson. So, hey, Russell Wilson with a chip on his shoulder, with Mike Tomlin as his coach.
Yep. I mean, it just makes the AFC, the AFC,
West? North.
The North, the North makes them just even makes them even tougher division. You know, all those.
Talk about it.
Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just going to say, talk about a team running it back. Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Re-signed Baker Mayfield, 3 years, $115 million. Mike Evans, 2 years, $52 million.
Yeah.
Antoine Winfield comes back. Chase Edmonds. I mean, they loved what happened last year, and they're trying to see if they could make some magic. And you know what? That's the thing with Atlanta, Tampa, New Orleans. And who was the other team from there? Carolina.
Yeah.
That division is so, every year there's something going on, or it's not like there's a team that's so superior. Right. It's not like, it's always
like a new team every year. Like
exactly. So why not run it back?
Yeah.
Run it back with a team with its second year.
Yeah. But
Tennessee.
have a new offensive coordinator, so that'll be interesting to see how Baker does with the new offensive coordinator.
Tennessee Titans. So much change. New coach, second year GM. I mean, he hired I don't have the coach's name, but I know he's Callahan. I know he's Bill Callahan's son.
Yes.
But
Tom Callahan.
Sorry.
No, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Brian, Bill, something Callahan. But
one of the Callahans.
Will Levis is still there. They signed Calvin Ridley, Mason Rudolph, Kenneth Murray, Lloyd Cushenberry, Tony Pollard. I mean, for a team that you thought was just going to lay down and let this year kind of fall apart, Brian Callahan, they are going full steam ahead. No, let's get some quality players in here and see what we could do in the West. So, got to give them credit. Now, the team you brought up, the Commanders. They signed Marcus Mariota, brought in Austin Eckler. Wow.
Yeah.
I like that move a lot.
Yeah.
Colin Farrell, Jeremy Chin, Frank Louvu, Tyler Biadasz, Darren Armstrong. So, my goodness, it's been an active free agency around the league. But just going through that, going through all of that, what move around the league, you just pick one, you have to go that you think impacts the draft the most. So you go, man, I thought they could have been going this route, but with this move that they did, now I see them kind of going here.
That's a good question. Because regardless, I feel like Arizona was going to go they weren't going quarterback route, so I didn't see that. I definitely still think that it'll be, offensive tackle. I don't know. That's a good question.
You see some.
Well, to be honest, I do think what Miami has done has shifted what we need to do at 21.
For sure.
Because we've filled some holes, or we've brought in guys that can compete for some certain areas. Yeah, Josh says that Jaden Daniels is going to Washington. I do believe that is true. But I do think that definitely, now if the best available is a quarterback, I don't think we're going to go quarterback. We may go, the center instead of quarterback. But
no, for sure. But I think maybe second, third, fourth, if they trade back in one of those guys or someone's there, kind of opens up that spot. But I'm still in the mindset of don't sleep on any position other than quarterback at 21.
Exactly.
So let's go here. Let's talk about, again, I've been under the weather. Wingate's been under the weather. It's crazy schedule. That's why we're on a Thursday, not a Monday. It's just what it is. It's just been a mess last couple weeks, but we'll be in full strength soon. But let's go ahead to the best of our abilities, and let's talk about the position spotlight we're doing this week, which is the
running backs.
The running backs.
Player rankings per position.
All right, Coach. Let me see if I can pop this here.
So I got some surprises out there.
Ray Davis Jr. Talk to me.
Well, I'll start with number 5. Obviously, I'm an Audric Estime fan. I do like his build a little bit more. To me, and again, I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying he's got this type of build. I feel like he's got a Derrick Henry type build or a Derrick Henry light type build. So that could be somebody that you may later in the rounds, that could be that short yardage guy that you're looking for. Blake Corum, I mean, he was in the perfect offense for him. That's why he had so many carries and JJ McCarthy had so little passes. He's a viable candidate. Trey Benson and Jonathan Brooks both were really good. I think I had them real close as well. And then when I do film, like I just how Josh has kind of listed the guys. That's how I go through and watch them. And I feel like Ray Davis Jr. was kind of on the bottom of that list, and I hadn't seen I hadn't seen guys like pop, and Ray Davis out of Kentucky really popped for me. I felt like he was breaking big plays. He was pulling away from guys. He was scoring touchdowns. So I was really, really surprised by him. I don't think, I don't think he's, going to go in the first round or even in the second, but he's the one that I had him higher than probably everybody else. But I liked his style. He had a little H-hand to him, in my opinion. He was able to break some things that other bigger backs may not have been able to. So Ray Davis Jr. out of Kentucky was my number 1.
Yeah, again, and it's been a crazy week. Full disclosure, I usually try to get all of it done. I try to dedicate a few hours a day, and between morning and night to get that. And I wasn't able to complete the running backs, but got enough done to make a top 5. I wasn't able to get to Ray Davis, so I'm really looking forward to watching him. I will say about the running backs of this year's draft, there's no clear-cut number 1 guy.
I agree.
One of these guys. Any one of these guys could be the first back taken in the draft. It's not going to be like last year or the year before where if one went in the first round. This would be a second, third round. I wouldn't be surprised. Mid, second, early third, or in the third round, the first back is taken because it's kind of like you're okay waiting unless you really like someone.
I feel like if you talk about position-wise, which position was maybe the most influenced during free agency, I think running backs, right? You had different running backs go to different teams and have taken we're already talking about it, Josh. You know, because I think there were teams that secured some backs that normally would have maybe taken some of these guys in the draft. So maybe running backs is going to be one that we don't see taken off the board until late second, early third, day two, day three.
Yeah. Let me see. I don't want to miss this here. Left a lot of my stuff at the office. I have some of my notes that I was trying to write down when I already had. But, okay, so let me pull up mine here. And you guys forgive me. But let me go ahead and pull this up. So right now, I have Blake Corum number 1. Or let me start from the bottom up very quick. Like my good pal did here. Will Shipley, Clemson. 5'11", 206 pounds, a versatile back, multiple sport athlete, was a triathlon, can make you miss. One thing I thought was he can make you miss with your feet. I shifted his head. You make a guy go. Love what I saw from him. Bucky Irving out of Oregon, 5'9", 192. Good downhill runner who can run over through tackles. Again, 5'9", 192 doesn't sound big, but he plays big.
Yeah.
Jonathan Brooks out of Texas. Perfect size, 6 foot 216. He's a perfect size for an NFL back. Good outside runner, fast around the corner, has that breakaway speed. Troy Benson, FSU, again, 6 foot 216, identical to Jonathan Brooks. NFL body, capable receiver. I liked what I saw out of the backfield. They used him a lot like that, and not afraid of contact. Will come right through you. Blake Corum, kind of like what you said with Ray Davis. he stood out to me. First of all, his production, stood out to me. Last year, 1,200 yards, 27 touchdowns on the ground, 5'8", 213. High motor, he could take a hit, crazy production, patient runner when he's finding the hole. I just love how, it's kind of like he's going fast, but it kind of like slows down from the finding hole and make it through. But again, love what he was able to do, be a focal point of an offense. If you kind of take that load off of him and you put him in the right offense with some weapons around you, I mean, you could get yourself a quality damn back. I mean, last year, and it's not just like, oh, yeah, the master year last year because they put the ball in. Last year, 1,400 yards, 1,463 yards, 18 touchdowns, 5.9 yards per carry, had 11 receptions, 80 yards, 1 touchdown. Last year, 117 yards, a touchdown receiving. But again, 27 touchdowns on the ground, 4.8-yard average, and 1,245 yards. Again, any back could be number 1. Any back could come off the board. But right now, until I complete it, Blake Corum was the one that just – because what I saw with the numbers, I saw on tape. And I loved what I saw on tape.
Right, yeah. You know what he screams to me?
Who?
Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, dude. That you hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the head. And you look at what the Chargers do. That was one of the things about the loss. They released Mike Williams. They might trade Keenan Allen. Receiver, more than likely now, is a possible target for them early on. But can you see them like they go receiver in the first round? They go get a Blake Corum or someone in the second or third round. Watch out. Cody Schrader, Missouri. Let me write that down there. Is that a running back there? I love if Scotty's always coming in the clutch.
What's Scotty say?
Cody Schrader out of Missouri.
Oh, do we not? Oh, I do remember Schrader.
But yeah, man. Let me go ahead and put this here. All right. We're about almost at the hour, so we're gonna get our war room ready.
Hell yeah.
Let's see if I'm gonna have to adjust this. Wingate used to be able to would do it, but let me see if I could do it. Okay, so let me share the screen. It looked like somebody took that part out. Share screen. All right, let me go ahead and put this here.
Give it to me.
Give it to me. All right.
This will be interesting to do tonight now that we know a little bit about how free agency's played out.
Right now, we don't need scenarios. We just have it already.
Yeah.
And actually, let me pull this up. Let me have our list in front of me here of who we've added, who we signed. And okay, so we do know. Let's talk about what we still need right now. Yeah. And guys, forgive me if you have any comments. I won't be able to see it just yet because I'm going to make this bigger here, so I make sure everybody can see everything. Okay, so that's good. So
yeah, I think like you said earlier, interior offensive line, deep tackle, and wide receiver.
So those are like our key. What was the other? Edge rusher is another one.
Oh yeah, edge rusher. Yep.
And I'm going to put QB there because look at where the NFL's going.
Yeah,
could be something later on in the draft. Now, again, any position really could still be a on the table here, but it's your offensive line, starting defensive lineman, wide receiver. I'm going to put nose tackle because I know Danny always gets bad about that. Daniel, quarterback
and nose tackle tonight, Daniel.
We're going to figure that out. We'll figure that out. And I said on Fitz Talk today, on our next show, Fitz Talk today with Fish Tank, we won't do trades, but we're going to entertain trades on this show here. Okay.
That's right, because we're the draft channel, damn it.
We're the draft channel. All right. We'll run this through here. Forgive me, guys. I'll try to look at your comments before we make any pick.
Drake May.
Did they? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So we have a trade offer, but let's look at who's on the board first. Brian Thomas, wide receiver. Johnny Newton, defensive lineman, Illinois. Jackson Powers Johnson, still on the board.
Wow, dude.
Chop Robinson. Byron Murphy. Tyler Guyton. Okay.
I mean,
if this was to go down just like this.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, because look, you have Aaron Brewer. He can play guard. He can play center. Yeah. Good run blocker. So not really a good pass blocker.
Right.
But does that hold you from taking Jackson Powers? No, it doesn't. No. Let's look at the trade offers. So this is interesting.
That's very interesting. 42, 108, 157.
And a second rounder next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's better.
No.
That's 3 picks in the 100s.
Yeah. This is why could you imagine being a real GM and seeing these types of things, being like, hell yeah, I'm going to take this. Bears fans would be mad, but I'm going to take this. 49, 80, 97, 149 in a second. That's 4 new picks that we don't have.
Scotty, that might be, he might be able to play nose tackle. That might help free that up a little bit. But again, is he a capable starter? Is he more just like a depth piece, which he could be, obviously has been. So something to think about and look into. So
if we take this, we'll have 49 and then turn right back around with 55.
Yes.
God dang, dude, that's
my thing. You get, because Miami only has, let's look at how many picks Miami has. So right now, look at that. 21, 55, 150, 184, 198, 241. Yep. From 55 to 158. That's 103 picks.
Yeah.
Before you make your next pick.
Dude, I think, and this is just me, I think we take it because that's how many more picks in the top 100? We only have 2 picks in the top 100 right now.
You get 2 more. So you'll have 4.
So we get 49, 80, and 97. That's 3 more. That's 5 in the top 100.
So for me.
But I know there's a lot of good dudes on the board right there.
There is. My thing is, you got Aaron Brewer. Kind of helps you kind of say, okay, maybe I could look away from Jackson.
Yeah.
Brian Thomas is the only one where I'll go, if I'm going to stay here, I'm going to get Brian Thomas.
Yeah.
But I could get a receiver later.
Yeah.
I think I want to take this pick.
You want to take the pick?
I would take the pick, but I'm going to let you decide.
No, Brian Thomas Jr. is the one that Tyreek was banging for, wasn't he?
He was. He was.
You're saying that you would take Brian Thomas Jr.
If I stayed here, I'd go Brian Thomas because you add that receiver, you got a big body receiver, he's there. But again, you could get a guy later on. who's a big-bodied receiver. We touched on him. There's a guy, the kid. I'm losing his mind right now. I'm losing my mind. UCF receiver.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's the guy Johnny Wilson at FSU, 6'6", 2 something. There's a lot of good quality receivers later on. Right now, if you tell me, Bobby, I think we should stay, I would say let's target Brian Thomas. Hey, Bobby, I think we should take the pick. I'm down with that. I'm leaning towards taking the trade.
I'm leaning towards taking the trade just because that's 3 extra. I mean, that's 2 extra picks. Like you said, 2 extra picks in the top 100 that could cover wide receiver, D line, O line.
What's up, CC?
What do the people think? What do the people think? I can't see anything down there.
Right now, let's see. CCRR, happy you're watching, says if you want a receiver, you better get him in the first. Johnny Wilson is not an NFL player. Scotty says, wasn't Hill talking about Michael Thomas? He was. He said he liked Michael Thomas on his team. I think we should take this pick.
Take it. Drop it. Phone it in.
Oh, make it in. We'll take the trade. All right, here we go. All right.
Phone it in.
So I'm good holding off on this.
Yeah, I don't.
Let me see.
I don't like that one.
There's nothing there and nope, I'm good.
I don't like that one.
So now we got 49, 55, 80, 97.
Yeah.
So now look who's on the board.
Oh, I would.
Devontae Sweat, Zach Frazier, Troy Benson, Idesa Isaac, Troy Franklin, Edrin Cooper.
For me, it would be really hard to pass up either Sweat or Frazier. And I just say Frazier because we need somebody in the center area.
We do, and you got Aaron Brewer. You can put him in any spot. Sweat, a lot of our guys watching this show are banging the table for Miami to take a nose tackle. Sweat, who we watch, and like I said, he was one of those guys that we kind of said, man, I don't know, dude. There's something missing here.
Right.
But you see the flashes. When he's on, he's on. That dude is a monster. But Byron Murphy really drew my attention more. But you take Sweat here with the defensive line you currently have with Zach Sealer.
Let's do it. Let's take the nose tackle.
The DT? All right.
Yep.
We're going to Vondre Sweat here.
Yeah.
Now we're at 55. I'm not taking nothing for Buffalo. All right. So.
Trey Benson. Troy Franklin,
wide receiver, Oregon. Speedy wide receiver, 6'2", 176. Ben Sennett, Jatavion Sanders still there. Jalen Polk. Let's go offensive line here. Let's take a look. Little high for any of these guys. Christian Mahogany.
I like Mahogany.
Cedric Van Pran. Still a little high. Let's go to defense. Chris Braswell, edge rusher. Edge rusher is a possibility for Miami.
Oh, is that the kid from Alabama?
Yes, he is.
Braswell. I liked him.
Linebacker, Peyton Wilson, Cedric Gray, Junior Carlson. All still on board, but we got some guys down here. Jeremiah Trotter.
Yeah.
Still sitting there.
Cam Kitchens.
Still there.
Bo Braid, I liked him too.
Yeah, I did like Bo Braid. Jaden Hicks, I like a lot. DeAndre Demerson, who we like both, you and I.
Yeah.
But remember, we did get Jordan Poyer, but Miami was interested in Deshaun Elliott. He left somewhere else, so safety could be a pick to look at here. So,
did we? We took the trade instead of the wide receiver.
Yes.
Then maybe we go best available, which is the wide receiver here.
Trey Franklin.
Oh no, yeah, Franklin. I said that's the running back. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So you know what?
6'2".
I'm down with that. I'm going to be honest with you. I was looking at Trey Franklin, but Chris Braswell, edge rusher here.
Let's go edge.
Go edge rusher?
Yeah.
Let's roll.
Get a bigger receiver later.
All right.
80.
Let's trade 3 spots down and an extra pick.
Who do they
I'm good.
want? Who do they want? That's the thing. Who do they want? I have no idea. Nah, we don't have
I'm
to.
good.
Do,
yeah, we don't have to do that. So right now we've got nose tackle, Tabondre Sweat, edge rusher, Chris Broswell. Remember Miami. So let me do this. I'm sorry. So defensive nose tackle, edge rusher, interior offensive line, D tackle, wide receiver, quarterback. And running back is still a possibility. I mean, that's with Cedric Gray still on the board. But even though we got 2 linebackers,
I would like Mahogany.
Christian Mahogany.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it. Let's get Mahogany, get some offensive line help in there.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'm down. So we got interior offensive line. All right, we're at 97 now. So let's go ahead and look at best available. Braylon Allen. You talk about a power bat. You talk about a hard hitter.
He did. He runs hard.
Yeah. 6'1", 235. There's my dude right here, Blake Curran.
5'7", 205.
Which I thought it was 5'9". And who knows how these people do their damn things. 5'8". But anyway, let me go ahead here. So again, let's look at D tackle and wide receiver very quick. Let's go to D tackle.
McKinley Jackson, Dwayne Carter, Mason Smith, Makai Wingo, Jordan Jefferson.
Not safety. Javon Ballard, Jaden Hicks still on the board here.
Yeah.
Okay.
The kid from Texas Tech. And what do we have? Wide receiver. Alabama.
We could probably get one later on.
Luke McCaffrey.
He's there. Yeah.
Yeah. What about
tight end?
Just Stover.
Kate Stover, Jared Riley.
Holker's still there. Yeah, I think it's too early to get a tight end. I think we need to go maybe more O-line, D-line help or a cornerback.
So Matt Goncalves. Let's see. Brandon Coleman. I think we can wait on offensive line. We might be all right.
I agree. Do we take the best available position here?
That's the thing. So do we go safety here? Do we look at safety for Miami? Vogel froze. I see it moving.
Oh, yeah, moving. No, I think you go safety. Just because, my issue with taking a running back this high in the top 100 is that are they going to get any playing time?
That's the thing. You could wait on
what I'm saying?
Right, absolutely.
Because we got a bunch of picks that come farther down.
So let's look at our. Do I have it here? Damn it. I wonder if. Damn. I was going to try to pull up our board. Let me see if I could get it up very quick. Maybe. Do you have our board up on your screen at all or no?
No,
look at our top save.
That I see. I know what you're saying. You said, who was our top safety when we ranked him? Let's see. I think it's here. Okay. Top 100. Where are you? There you are. Well, open. For some reason, here, let me see. I'll do it this way. We'll go here.
What's up, Cap? Good to see you, brother.
That's right. We got 10 minutes on the clock. You said safety, right?
Yeah. Who's our top safety right now? Who's still on the out of these guys?
Cooper DeJean was our was early second round. Tyler Newman was early second round. Javon Bullard from Georgia's early second round. Jaden Hicks, early second round. Bo Braid from Maryland was second round. Cam Kitchens was second round, and then everybody else is in the third.
There you go. Let's see here. You know, I think Jaden Hicks was higher for me. I know I like DeAndre Taylor
Let's see, hold on a
Demerson.
second. Hicks, where's Hicks? You had him 606 at 621. I had him at 702. Jaden Hicks.
Jaden Hicks?
Yeah.
That's okay. Let's go Jaden Hicks.
I'm good with it.
I'm down with that, dude. Hell yeah.
That's how we work. That's how we work this board here.
We got a board, brother. All right. So 149. All right. So we have a safety. That was good. We drafted a safety, interior lineman. All right. So
did we get a defensive rusher, edge rusher?
We did. Let's look at the picks right now. So we got Tavondre Sweat, Chris Broswell,
okay. Yeah,
Christian Mahogany at guard, and Jaden Hicks at safety. So
let's see. We have a ton of picks left. Let's see what quarterbacks are available. Is there one that we really like? It
Joe Milton.
Yeah. Sam Hartman. The only two that I would even consider would be Milton and Hartman. So if Milton's higher, you might as well take him at 190.
It's a little. We have 158. Let me see some. We could probably get him at 184.
Yep. All right. So what else? Tight end. What we got in tight end? Who we got?
Well, and again, Miami has they signed Janu Smith.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I was just trying to find a wide receiver tight end type that's that big, tall.
Wide receiver tight end type. Let's take a look.
Mike Gesicki type wide receiver tight end. That
Miami scheduled a meeting with him. Eric All.
How tall? Yeah, what's McCaffrey? 6'1". Cornelius Johnson. I mean, you could take best player available with edge, or another defensive tackle, Jordan Jefferson.
Jesus.
My dog and cat are having.
I hear it. Damn. I think wide receiver here would be a good pick. Luke McCaffrey.
Yeah. All right,
I'm down with that.
Yeah, let's go with McCaffrey. His daddy was good. His brother's really good.
You never know.
Maybe, just maybe.
Now you go best player available here. You go defensive line, Jordan Jefferson.
Yep. I like that one.
We just took one. So we got receiver. We got D tackle. 184.
Get some O-line depth.
He's off the board. O-line depth. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that jumps out to you?
When you go back to all, and then I was looking at the
Michigan guard, Ladarius Henderson.
Ladarius Henderson, yeah. Yep.
198. Dalen Holker, tight end.
I really like Holker.
Let's roll. All right. 241. Is there anyone who could be the next Brock Purdy?
I don't know. That's the thing, right?
Does anybody go to school with one of Chris Greer's kids?
Yeah, exactly.
I think.
Kansas had a pretty decent season this year with that Bean kid.
Yeah.
Slovis did some decent stuff at the.
Wasn't he a higher ranked player a couple of years ago?
I thought so. Slovis, Brandon. I wasn't a huge fan of Brandon Armstrong,
but I know somebody who knows somebody who knows Greer. There you go.
Mordecai. No, I didn't like Mordecai at all.
We don't have to go quarterback here. Yeah. It was edge rusher. You could go look at running backs. I don't think we got one. Kendall Milton's still on the board. Jace McKillen, Alabama. I am. Make sure here. Where did Rattler go? Let's take a look. Rattler. Let me look after. Let me see if I can pull it up after.
Let's see if we can pull it. Yeah.
But okay, so I'm down. I mean, we could go Slovis here, or looking at a running back, we could go Milton.
Yeah, let's go Milton.
All right, we'll go Kendall Milton here. Add another back.
There you go.
There you go. T'Vondre Sweat. And again,
and then click on full results, and that should give you team by team.
Yeah, there you go. So we're looking for Spencer Rattler.
Yeah.
So I don't think he went in the first round. Second round.
Ooh, Raiders got Penix at 43.
Well, there you go. Roman Wilson
Bo Nix went to the Saints.
Interesting.
Go. Let's see.
Blake Corum went to Cleveland. Let me see. Brandon First went to Detroit. Of course he would.
Your boy Corum went to the Browns.
I saw that. Round 4. There you go. 101.
Panthers.
Went to the Panthers. There you go. What's up, Rob? Rob of DolphinsThirsty.com. Guys, if you're thirsty for Dolphins content, go check out Rob on Dolphins Thirsty YouTube and DolphinsThirsty.com. He is on almost every day, minus tomorrow because he's on baseball, which is on deck for Fitstock Sports Network, but one of the best out there, one of the best guys out there as well. There you go. All right.
It was a great drafting session again tonight. Some great trades. Why didn't that stuff happen on draft night?
All right. Let's pull this here. Step the screen. There we go. Perfect. All right. Rob, I almost called you to see if you wanted to hop on with us tonight. Maybe next time. But anyway, so there you go. So let's check out, make sure we haven't missed anything. I want to thank everyone who's watching so far. We got over 110 people watching via Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all tuning in right now. Very cool.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate you.
100%. Yeah, and if you guys are watching anywhere else, hop on over to YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button, and then go see Dolphins Thirsty, like and subscribe to him. And then go over to CB, like and subscribe to him, and get some great Dolphins content. Former Miami Dolphins receiver Cedric Wilson has just reached an agreement with the New Orleans Saints on a 2-year deal.
Okay. Cedric, it's good knowing you.
Yeah, man. Let's see here. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Jarvis Landry pounded the table to get signed somewhere.
Come back to Miami. for cheap.
But all right. That's about it. Any final thoughts, sir?
Man, I love it. I'm glad that we didn't do it on Monday because I was out of work on Monday. All through the night. I was like, I do not feel well.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
we needed it. We needed
it. Took the day off and was glad we had some time. What are we doing next week for our spotlight position?
Let's do wide receiver.
We can do wide receiver.
Let's do wide receiver. Is there any other position? We still got corner.
We have edge.
Edge.
We just did in
interior defensive line.
That's the word I was looking for.
And then eventually we did offensive line already, but we still have to go through that. Just scouting in general.
Well, that was just kind of scouting in general. Now that we have the grading system, I want to go back and
100%. I'm going to do the whole thing. You know, I've already started I'm just going to go through. I'm not even going to wait till we say something.
Exactly.
So I have it all done.
Yeah.
You know, but anyway, guys, I thank you all for tuning in. Please do like and subscribe. We appreciate you all. Scotty, Daniel, Rob, of course, Josh Wingate, Missy brother. Hope to see you next week. CCRR, man, appreciate you coming on. Cat for Life, Fat Boy Swag, yo, great to see you that you're in here, man. Hopefully I don't want to miss anybody here. Cliff D, Finstanza, California, everyone. Appreciate you all for watching. Like, subscribe. Most importantly, Dolphin fans, Fids up. See you guys next week.
Good.
It's the Fins Talk Sports Network, FTSN, talking major sports and even wrestling. Bobby Fins Talk and his FTSN crew, they're taking deep dives just to entertain you. Talking Dolphins,